With E3 right around the corner, a lot of anticipation is being built up on what new revelations we might see, and while Sony is going to be absent from E3, that doesn't mean we're not going to see any new PlayStation 4 game announcements. It's just that the majority of the titles that are going to be announced are probably going to be multi-platform titles. However, I do want to highlight in this video 8 big new PlayStation 4 games that are being rumored for E3 2019. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation going around, so I wouldn't expect every single one of these to come to fruition, but I'll give you guys my insight and where I'm coming from in suggesting that each of these games might be at E3. And kicking things off is a game that recently has started to take the gaming world by storm, and that is Great Rune. This is said to be From Software's next title, and of course they're apparently getting some help from George R.R. Martin. George R.R. Martin mentioned that he is consulting with a video game studio out of Japan, a Japanese video game, From Software being a Japanese studio, and rumors of that spawning a few months ago. It makes a lot of sense that this is coming together for Great Rune. It would be a little bit surprising to see the game announced so quickly, given the fact that Sekiro Shadows Die Twice just released. However, I could very well see a quick teaser trailer or something like that. I wouldn't expect something like a long gameplay demo. I think that's a little bit too much again, especially considering Sekiro just came out, but a quick teaser trailer giving us an idea of what the title is, I think that is very possible. Alright, next up, we have a game that I think is a formality will be at E3, and that is Watch Dogs 3. We know that Ubisoft is prepping up a major press conference. They've got a lot of games that they're going to show off. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint is already announced, and there are rumblings of a couple of other titles, but I think Watch Dogs 3 is for certain to be there, and that is because we know that this year there is not going to be an Assassin's Creed game. Now, how does Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs go hand to hand? Well, I'm sure that Ubisoft wants to put out some sort of major single-player open-world title. They seem to put one out every year, and remember, Watch Dogs 2 released all the way back in 2016. Oh, would you look at that? 2016 was another year where an Assassin's Creed game was absent, so I'm offering you guys all that information and on the fact that Watch Dogs 3 has seemingly been in development for a while now, and I do think it's gonna be announced come E3. We have a lot of rumors and insight onto what the story might be, but I do think the game is gonna be announced, and I do think it's gonna be released later this year, and it will be Ubisoft's major single-player open-world title. Alright, next up, another Ubisoft game that I've been clamoring for a very long time. I'm a little bit more skeptical on this one, but a new Tom Clancy Splinter Cell needs to happen. We've been waiting on a new Splinter Cell game for quite a while. The last time we got a Splinter Cell title was back in 2013 with Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist, and unfortunately with that game, it was released right before the launch of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, so there wasn't really that clamoring and that anticipation for the game. I think it would have fared a lot better as a launch title for the PS4 and Xbox One, but nonetheless, it was a very good game in its own right, and I would love to see that game be remastered for the PS4, but nonetheless, a brand new Splinter Cell title, that's something that I would be all over, and I think a lot of you guys are on that same boat as well. Alright, next one. Here's another one that some of you guys might consider a little bit of a pipe dream, but Kingdoms of Amalur Remastered. This is something I've been wanting for so long, and with THQ Nordic having a big presence at E3 this year, with them just acquiring the Kingdoms of Amalur IP, I do think it's possible. How likely is it? I'm probably at a 50-50 on whether or not this is going to come to fruition. I mean, at some point, I do think Kingdoms of Amalur is going to be revived, and I do think the best way to kick it off is through a remastered version, just because jumping headfirst into Kingdoms of Amalur 2, developing a big game like that, I just don't think that's a great idea, given how much of a financial turmoil the first game put 38 studios in, and that studio went defunct. It was just a massive undertaking, but I think to familiarize gamers with Kingdoms of Amalur, a remastered version of the original game would be a great idea. Throw in the DLC, price it accordingly, and I think it would resonate hard with gamers. Alright, next up is one that's seemingly been leaked recently, and that is Red Faction Evolution. This recently appeared on Nvidia's website in terms of what games that they are supporting with Nvidia Ansel, and would you look at that, Red Faction Evolution, that's a game that's not announced, but I do think another Red Faction title is in the works. Usually whenever a remastered game is released, that's a publisher gauging the interest of that IP. Last year we had the release of Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition. Now we have Red Faction Evolution seemingly being leaked, and I do think that's going to come to fruition. Now, the last Red Faction title in Red Faction Armageddon wasn't all too great. Loved Red Faction Guerrilla. Armageddon left a lot to be desired, so hopefully with Evolution, it will be the proper evolution of the franchise. I know that sounds a little bit corny, but you guys get where I'm coming from. I think there's a lot of potential in the IP, and hopefully we'll get a big gameplay reveal of Red Faction Evolution, and maybe it'll even be released before the year's out. I do imagine that this game is relatively far along in development. Next up, another THQ Nordic title, Darksiders Genesis, is being rumored as well. Now, this is a little bit surprising given that Darksiders 3 was just released late last year, but we know that game did pretty well. Even though critically the reviews weren't all too strong, we know that commercially it broke even rather quickly, and they made a significant profit off of that game, and given that profit being made, you imagine that another Darksiders game is in the works, and the rumor is the next Darksiders title is Darksiders Genesis. Now, what can I make of it? Genesis makes it seem like it's some kind of origin story, but we don't know at this point. More Darksiders is definitely a good thing in my eyes, and while everybody wasn't a big fan of Darksiders 3, I thought it was a rather compelling game and had a lot of positive elements. We'll see if Darksiders Genesis does officially get revealed at E3, but that's one I'm looking forward to. Another one that's seemingly being teased for E3 is a brand new Destroy All Humans game. Now, Destroy All Humans is one of the more iconic franchises in all of gaming. It was a big deal back in the PlayStation 2 days, but of course, it unfortunately fell off a little bit after the PlayStation 2 titles with Destroy All Humans and Destroy All Humans 2, but now if we get another Destroy All Humans game, I think that would be great, especially because a lot of people have been familiarized with this IP based on the fact that it has been released on the PlayStation Store through the PlayStation 2 games on PlayStation 4 program. Now, am I saying it's still one of the most popular IPs in the world today? No, but it's definitely an IP with a significant amount of nostalgia attached to it, and I do think they can build upon that and create something that a lot of gamers would be interested to play. Whether it be Destroy All Humans 3, whether it be a brand new game, whatever the case may be, I think a new Destroy All Humans game would resonate with gamers. And lastly, this is one that recently is being teased. Larian Studios, developers of Divinity Original Sin, are teasing a new project on their website, and based on the logo that's being presented, it looks like it's actually Baldurs Gate 3. Now, I don't want to get people too excited. The idea of Larian Studios working on a Baldurs Gate 3 is absolutely insane. Baldurs Gate is one of the most revered RPG franchises in history, and gamers have been wanting a Baldur's Gate 3 for a long time. Larian Studios taking the helm, of course, the developers behind Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2, some of the best RPGs of the past decade, arguably the best, working on Baldur's Gate 3. That would be absolutely incredible. It's on Larian's official website. Who knows if E3 is the place to make that sort of revelation? I think E3 would be a great place, given that there would be a lot of eyes, and Baldur's Gate is one of those franchises that more so than Destroy All Humans, I think that's one that gamers have still stayed incredibly attached to, at least those that have played Baldur's Gate all the way back in the day. So Baldur's Gate 3 for modern consoles, for next-gen consoles, whatever the case may be, that would be incredible as well. And hopefully we see the announcement of that. I don't want to get people too excited on that. That's why I saved it for the end. I'm still 50-50 on this one. Who knows if it's Baldur's Gate 3, who knows if it's a gigantic troll job, but Baldur's Gate 3 would be absolutely incredible. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, E3 2019 is coming up. I know a lot of you guys aren't all too excited for it based on the fact that Sony isn't gonna have a traditional press conference, but leave them be. They've got a couple of exclusives that are due out. Death Stranding is going to come out later this year. We already know about that. The Last of Us Part 2 probably won't be until early 2020, and they're hard at work on all the PlayStation 5 stuff, so what are they really going to show off at E3? Let them be for now. Hopefully next year they make a comeback, or hopefully State of Play really starts to take off and they do more State of Play presentations, and that's how we get our game information. Whatever the case may be, for PlayStation 4 owners, there's still a lot of reason to be excited for E3, so be on the lookout for the big event, and it's gonna be happening very soon. So that's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.